Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. What should we do today? Don't really have any rumors we can look into, we just got the main plot. Sun Mount. Darktown Sanctuary. We can do that. Jump volume down a little bit. Who do I want to bring with? Let's go with Varric. Fenris. And Isabella. Nope. Oh, we could do this day or night. Sweet. I'm mainly bringing Varric because I think he's better at locks right at the moment. And Fenris and Isabella, just in case I have a chance to up their friendship. Because how high their friendship is can determine how long they stay around in this game. Because there are points where if you don't have a high enough friendship, they will literally just leave you. I found that out the hard way the first time I went.
Great pleasure in rooting out this nest of blood mages. It will not be the first.
Codex update. I think it's creature, but no, it's not creature. What got updated? Never mind. Back to fighting. Zappy zappy. Back up a little. Ooh, Varric. Take a potion. Just in case. I detest this notion that the veil is some manner of invisible curtain that separates the world of the living from the world of the spirits. Whether it be called the Fade or the Beyond is a matter of racial politics I refuse to indulge in at the moment. There's no this side and that side when it comes to the Veil. One cannot think of it as a physical thing or a barrier or even a shimmering wall of holy light. Thank you very much for that image, your perfection. Think of the Veil instead as opening one's eyes. Before you opened them, you saw our world as you see it now, static, solid, unchanging. Now that they are open, you see our world as the spirits see it, chaotic, ever-changing, a realm where the imagined and the remembered have as much substance as that which is real, more in fact. A spirit sees everything as defined by will and memory, and this is why they are so very lost when they come across the Veil. In our world, imagination has no substance. Objects exist independently of how we remember them or what emotions we associate with them. Mages alone possess the power to change the world with their minds, and perhaps this forms the nature of a demon's attraction to them. Who can say? Regardless, the act of passing through the Veil is much more about changing one's perceptions than a physical transition. The Veil is an idea. It is the act of transition itself, and it is the fact that both living beings and spirits find the transition difficult that gives the Veil any credence as a physical barrier at all. From a dissertation of the Fade as a physical manifestation by Marino, senior enchanter of the Minratha Circle of Magi, 655 steel. Interesting. Zappy zappy. Kaboom. Are those better? I'll take him. There you are, Varric. Kaboom. Kaboom. Fenris. Money. How much money do we have anyway? 27 gold. Owen's hood has more armor. At least this kind of matches my colors.
Everyone stay still and try not to make any loud noises.
Too late. Good timing, Varric.
How wonderful. More vessels for our experiments. Where is Karen?
Perhaps the demons will find one of you suitable.
This demon worship thing is a real turn-off.
I am not some hopeless waif that ran crying to a demon. I sought them out and embraced them.
Why have you taken the recruits?
Demons can inhabit much more than mages and corpses. With assistance, they can control anyone I ask. Any Templar, any noble, any well-meaning meddler.
If you turn yourself in now, the Templars may spare your life.
The Templars! We will destroy their entire pathetic order. If a few more Templars fall to the demons, we can seed chaos in their ranks. How many abominations can they discover amongst their own before it drives the Knight Commander crazy?
Tell me where Karen is.
The experiments need so much fuel, you see. So many living vessels are found wanting. Useless vessels can still feed the compost heap, so it's not a complete waste.
Oh, man.
The demons are using you. Fight them.
In days of old, the Tevinter Imperium spanned the known world. Demons were their allies, held in check by power and knowledge. With a wave of a hand, I could do more than a Templar can achieve in a lifetime. Yet they command us. Absurd. We should be ruling them. We should rule you all. Kill the vessels only if you must.
Okay. Ah, wow. Kaboom. Oh. Okay, just be safe. Varric, heal up. Isabella, heal up. Fenris. Yeah, I might as well top you off too. Ugh!
When's the fight start? The op is starting to get bored. You'll have to be fast.
Ah, boom.
We should move on.
Mother, the lights!
Demonic gloves. Nah, these are fine. Hood of the Spiral Eye. Kirkwall has been a tinderbox since becoming the center of Templar power in eastern Thedas. Of the hundreds of mages that live in the Gallows, it's perhaps telling that the most well-known are its apostates. Ciridwith was one such infamous apostate. She lived during the latter half of the Storm Age and was known for hunting priests and Templars that abused their charges excessively. Ciridwith was also known as the Watcher and the Spiral Eye, so named for the spiral glyph she marked near her victims. Templar records show that Ciridwith was captured and made tranquil in 790 Storm. Many refuse to believe this, so her legend lives on. From Kirkwall, The City of Chains by Brother Genetivi, 924 Dragon. half-finished, half-reasoned, and likely dropped down a sewer in exactly the way a self-important fool might react if a Templar looked in his general direction. Bonwald is doodled inside, along with a shopping list for the Lowtown Bazaar. Oh, I'm marking these. Bleh! I need to upgrade my magic and willpower for this. Gold-threaded. Evering.
Is it over?
Karen.
Yes, that's my name. Oh, thank the Maker. I thought he had abandoned me.
But is it only Karen? It could be Karen +1. A very nasty +1 at that.
The cage has opened. Thank Andraste.
What do you remember about how you got here?
I was with a lady, and then things got fuzzy. Nightmares then. On fire for days. A demon laughing. The naked lady with her razor claws in my chest. I'd wake and hear screams. Maybe my own. I'm sorry. It's all a tangle in my head.
There's no easy way to say this, Karen. There's a chance you're inhabited by a demon.
What? No, I'm not a mage. I can't...
You can. Blame the mages who summoned whatever possesses you.
I'm just me. You have to believe me.
I want to say it is him, but at the same time, should I actually just tell... If I say tell the Templars, does that mean that they'll just inquire about him?
If you were possessed, they would have sent you back to the Order. You're free to go, Karen.
Don't tell the Templars. I don't know what they do to me. Please, I need to go back. Tell them I'm all right. Tell my sister. I must go.
Sir Cullen awaits our word.
So now the question is, do I tell them that they were attempting to possess the Templars? Oh, speaking of which, where am I supposed to be going? Gallows Courtyard.
Don't like Darktown? Die.
I thought...
Oh, dang it. Sorry, Fenris. Because no Narlock, there's a chance that, you know, just saying, hey, Templars could be possessed means paranoia sets in. But at the same time, if I keep quiet, there's a risk, a chance that maybe someone in the ranks is possessed.
Blood mages have infiltrated your ranks. They've been implanting your recruits with demons.
Sweet blood of Andraste.
Demons? Did you say something about the recruits and demons?
I didn't want to tell you, Masha. They were horrible. Those mages see the rest of us as ants to be crushed. They won't stop until they've destroyed the Chantry and the Templars forever.
Not all mages are like that.
True, not every mage gives in to temptation, but none are ever free of it. At any time, any mage could become a monster, from the lowest apprentice to the most seasoned enchanters. Mages cannot be treated like people. They are not like you and me.
Surely that's a little harsh.
Yet also true.
They are weapons. They have the power to light a city on fire in a fit of pique.
There's fault on both sides. We must find a way to live in peace.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps mages need better education as to why the Chantry functions as it does. Perhaps they would not go against the will of Andraste herself. I will look into it. For now, Karen, unless it is proven you are free of demons, I must strip you of your commission immediately.
No, you can't really think that. Karen's fine. He's safe.
He is not to blame, but tell that to the victims if it turns out that our suspicions are correct.
Please, sir. I tried to resist. I never took anything they offered. I need this position, or my sister can't eat. I've been training for 5 years.
Karen did nothing wrong. You can't strip his livelihood on the off chance Tirane succeeded.
Please, Knight Captain. I'll prove I'm loyal. Ask me anything.
My brother's a good man, sir. He would never succumb to a demon.
Perhaps it is best to keep our enemies close. We can watch him far better here than in the city. So be it. If he has shown no sign of demonic possession in 10 years' time, Karen will become eligible for full knighthood.
10 years?
Thank you, Sirrah. Again. But without a full knighthood, Karen's pay is so small. I do not know if I can reward you as you deserve.
I will handle that, miss. You have done the Order a great service. We will not forget it.
I shit you not, Ravani. It was this big.
There's no way. Impossible. I've had hundreds of those in my hands, and they're never that size.
Would I lie about something so critical?
What are you talking about?
We're discussing knives, of course. Well, daggers, technically. I never remember the difference. Why? What did you think we were talking about?
Shut up. Lowtown. Grimoire of the Apprentice.
You know, Ravani, you promised me you'd tell me how you're shipwrecked.
I was drunk. I thought the reefs around the Wounded Coast were made of candy.
Oh, come on.
And a demon told me to do it. It bet me 60 sovereigns and a bottle of port. You're not the only one here who can bullshit, you know?
So what really happened?
Nobody follows the law.
Ooh, we got a quest up here.
This is yours, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank the Maker and various others. I need to lock this up.
Every coin those swindlers nab goes straight to the Carter's coffers. They must be stopped.
Eliminate the Carter swindlers operating in Lowtown.
Not a step closer. No refunds on the ashes, friend. If the Maker doesn't favor you, that's between you and him, isn't it? Don't say...
You're mine!
Ah, boom.
Maker's breath, Hawk. You do get results, don't you?
Yeah, comes with the territory. Higher dexterity.
Those charlatans won't be bothering anyone again.
Did you say something? I didn't hear you. And clumsy me. I seem to have dropped a coin purse in your hand.
You're welcome? Let's get some dexterity up. Fireball scorches a large area and is more likely to send enemies flying. Ooh, I have a specialization point. Force mages are a fearsome sight on the battlefield, bending the laws of nature to crush, toss, and debilitate their foes. Kirkwall Circle houses a higher than usual percentage of mages who excel at this specialization, and their combined research has refined the school considerably. Force Mage must be purchased using a specialization point before any talents can be taken. Granted level 7 and 14. Few mages are watched more closely by the Templars than spirit healers. For all the good they can do, their consorting with any denizens of the demon-infested Fade is a matter of intense suspicion. Still, the benefits outweigh the risks, if only just. Known as Maleficarum, blood mages are feared not only by the incredible power of their spells, but also their ability to control minds. Templars hunt blood mages relentlessly, yet despite their efforts, Kirkwall sees more instances of blood magic with each passing year. Some whisper that the Order's relentless hunt has driven good intentional apostates to blood magic in their desperation to survive and keep their freedom. Health plus 25. On stamina. Physical force. Elemental force. I think I'm gonna go with Force Mage. Fist of the Maker. Okay then. Let's head to Sundamount. Oh, wait. Maybe we should switch up my party a little. Gotta go home. Make a pit stop. Now for this... Let's go, guys. Ah, boom. Yay, level up, Carver. Scythe inflicts a great deal more pain, particularly against enemies a mage has made brittle.
Old Shemlin, your kind are not welcome among the Dalish.
Are you Irish by chance?
What's a Shemlin?
It is the elven word for human.
It means you're not one of the people, and you should leave now.
Who are you people?
We are the last of the Elven.
So you say, frequently.
We remember who the people truly are, even as you city elves forget.
I was given an amulet for someone named Marathari.
How do you know that name?
Wait, this is the one the Keeper spoke of.
A Shemlin? I thought he'd be an elf.
Enter the camp. Keeper Marathari has been waiting for you.
Cause trouble, and you'll meet our blades, stranger.
Maybe it's more Scottish. I don't know. I'm bad with dialects.
Marathari, I was told to bring you this amulet.
Andarana Tishan, travelers. Indeed, I am Keeper Marathari. Let me look at you. There's truth in your face. A rare thing in a human. Tell me how this burden fell to you, child.
Your guards said you spoke of me. How did you know I was coming?
I listened. To the wind, to the birds, as the hunters do. To my dreams. I watched the stars. There is great wisdom to be found all around us, if you know how to listen for it. But I was not certain. Nothing is certain.
Are you the leader of these Dalish? Why did the witch tell me to bring this amulet to you?
I am the keeper of this clan. It is my task to guide my people and to ensure the old ways are not forgotten. As for Asha Belinar, I am tied to her, just as you are, by a debt that must be repaid.
Exactly what have I been carrying around? Is it magic?
It is a promise, child, made by one whose word still has weight. And therefore, it has terrible power. There are few things in this world stronger than a promise kept. Remember that.
This amulet's owner rescued my family from the Blight. In return, I agreed to bring it to you.
I honor you for coming to me. But I'm afraid your part in this is not done yet. The amulet must be taken to an altar at the top of the mountain and given a Dalish rite for the departed. Then, return the amulet to me. Do this and your debt will be repaid.
Are you going to teach me this rite for the departed?
I will send my first with you. She will see to it the ritual is done. And when it is complete, I must ask that you take her with you when you go.
Who is your first? First of what?
Your people would call her my apprentice, or heir. Meryl would have taken my place as keeper. But she has chosen a new path. Please, guide her safely from here.
That seems a little odd.
It is her wish, and I must grant it. You'll find Meryl waiting for you on the trail just up the mountain. Dareth Shiral.
Are you busy? No, of course not.
Here's a fun fact. This is actually the clan that you start off as a Dalish elf in Origins. In fact, Meryl was one of the tutorial companions that you get. That's something I didn't realize at first. In the days after the rising of Zazakel, the Dark Ones covered each corner of the land. The Archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shemlin and Elven alike. In the far north, where the hills wander the plains and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the lands which the Shemlin call Anderfels, a clan of our people lived, struggling to survive the blight. Lauren was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days, crafty as any wolf. He led his people always just ahead of the darkspawn who chased them. But the old hunter knew that even Hala cannot run forever. They must turn and fight or be run down. At the foot of the Myrdain, the darkspawn cornered Eloran's clan. That night, the moon was strangled by clouds, the earth concealed by a dread mist that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up from down. In the confusion, the darkspawn attacked. But Eloran had prepared for them. All around the camp, the hunters had strewn dry grass, brush, and brambles. When the sound of rustling footfalls began, Eloran and the other Haren called upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning, and though the bolts missed the darkspawn, they hit their target all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and now one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Eloran's clan. From the tale of Eloran, written by Zathrian, as it has been passed down from keeper to keeper for generations. Hi, Zathrian.
Too busy for you. I thought maybe...
Watch your steps, Yam. You don't know how many Dalish arrows are trained on you right now.
Oh, that's a great idea.
A
My
Shen?
gear is on the other side of...
Okay.
Wonders never cease.
Valislin. After my encounter with the Dalish elves on the road to Navarra, I studied every book on the elves I could find. I sought out legends and myths and history and tried to make sense of it all, but there is only so much one can learn from books. I knew that in order to truly understand the Dalish, I would have to seek them out. A dreadful idea in hindsight. In my defense, I was young, and also inebriated when the idea popped into my head. Unfortunately, even after I had regained some measure of sobriety, the idea still held appeal. It proved remarkably resistant to my attempts to ignore it. I gave in after months of that nagging thought at the back of my head and set out to learn about the Dalish firsthand. I tramped through the forest bordering Orlais for weeks before I finally found, or was found by, a Dalish hunter. I stumbled into one of his traps and suddenly was hanging from a tree with a rope around my ankles. So there I was, defenseless, upside down with my robes over my head, my underclothes all on display. Descriptions of my predicament might elicit laughter these days, but trust me when I say it was a situation I would not wish on anyone. Thankfully, my ridiculous appearance may have caused my captor to stay his hand. What threat is a silly human with his pants showing? And so he sat, made a small fire, and began to skin the deer he had caught. I soon mustered the courage to speak. I tried to assure him that I was not there to harm him, but he laughed at this and replied that if I was there to harm him, I had failed terribly. Eventually, we got to talking. And when I say talking, I mean that I asked him questions, and occasionally he would deign to answer. He told me that while some Dalish actively seek out human travelers to rob or frighten, most of his people would rather be left alone. He seemed to believe that punishing the humans for past actions only led to more violence. I asked him about the intricate tattoos on his face. He told me they were Vaseline, of blood writing. His were symbols of Andril, the huntress, one of the most highly revered elven goddesses. He said the Dalish marked themselves to stand out from humans and from those of their kin who have chosen to live under human rule. He said the Valisin reminds his people that they must never again surrender their beliefs. When he finished skinning the deer, he cut me down. By the time I had righted myself and conquered the dizziness of all the blood rushing out of my head, he was gone. I do not recommend that my readers seek out the Dalish for themselves. I was very lucky to have met the man that I did, and to have walked away with our meeting unscathed. Perhaps the Maker watches over those who seek knowledge with an open heart. I certainly would like to think so. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi.
And around Artishan, stranger.
Thedas is bounded to the east by the Amaranthian Ocean, to the west by Terrashan Forest, and the Hunterhorn Mountains, to the south by the snowy wastes that lie beyond the Orkney Mountains, and to the north by Donark Forest. The word Thedas is Tevinter in origin, originally used to refer to lands that bordered the Imperium. As the Imperium lost its stranglehold on conquered nations, more and more land became Thedas, until finally people applied the name to the entire continent. The northern part of Thedas is divided amongst the Anderfils, the Tevinter Imperium, Antiva, and Rivain, with the islands held by the Kunari just off the coast. Central Thedas consists of the Free Marches, Navarra, and Orlais, with Ferelden to the south. What lies beyond the snowy wastes is a mystery. The freezing temperatures and barren land have kept even the most intrepid cartographers at bay. Similarly, the western reaches of the Anderfils have never been fully explored, even by the Anders themselves. We do not know if the dry steppes are shadowed by mountains, or if they extend all the way to a nameless sea. There must be other lands, continents, or islands, perhaps across the Amaranthine or north of Parvalen, for the Kunari arrived in Thedas from somewhere, but beyond that deduction, we know nothing. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Dinativi.
Anethera, human. If the Keeper wants you here,
Merrill
then be
may
welcome.
guide you to Sunderland's Peak. May your steps be guided.
It doesn't look that bad. What's it supposed to be?
If you can't tell what it is, then it's rubbish.
Hush!
I am Master Islan, a crafter for this clan. Forced to stay so close to this Shemlin city, I've seen my share of outsiders pass through our camp. Is there something you needed?
Are you a specialist? What sort of things do you make?
A Dalish crafter does many things. We create weapons, armor, anything our clan has need of.
I don't need anything right now.
Of course.
What do you have? First, have on my junk. Oh, wow. Boot of the Isolationist.
It's a little flat for a bowl, perhaps?
Told you so.
Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their traditions, strong in their roots, and ever reaching for the sky. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction would last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into centuries-long slumber, but this was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in dreams. In those ages, our people called all the land Elvenan, which in the old language means place of our people. And at the center of the world stood the great city of Arlathan, a place of knowledge and debate, where where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge, meet old friends, and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But while our ancestors were caught up in the forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we today would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside the lush forests and ancient trees was changing. The humans first arrived from Parvalen to the north. Called Shemlin, or Quicklings, by the ancients, the humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brash and warlike, quick to anger and quicker to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human diseases, and for the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with humans found themselves aging, tainted by the humans' brash and impatient lives. Many believed that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives and cast them down among the Quicklings. Our ancestors came to look upon the humans as parasites, which I understand is similar to the way the humans see our people in the cities. The ancient elves immediately moved to close Elvenon off from the humans, for fear that this quickening effect could crumble the civilization. The fall of Arlathan, told by Gishral, keeper of the Ralafurin clan of the Dalish elves.
It's not often we allow humans into our camp. Take care.
What's up here?
Someone goes to the trouble to be this isolated. You let them.
Thanks for the pep talk, Carver.
So what's with that magical fisting thing you do?
Sorry?
You know, when you stick your hand into people.
Oh, that. Yes, it's, talent.
You could make so much coin with that.
No. Oh, spider! Good work, guys. Okay, moving on. Let's go up the mountain to see Meryl.
Oh, I didn't hear. You must be the one the Keeper told me about. Anethera.
I'm so sorry. I didn't ask your name. Unless... It's not rude to ask a human their name, is it? I'm Meryl, which you probably knew already. I'm rambling, sorry.
You seem awfully nervous.
I've never met a human before. Dalish mothers frighten their children with stories about you, you know. Not you, personally, of course. I'm sure they don't have any tales about you. Or not scary ones, at least. Not that you're not notable enough to have a story. I'll just shut up now.
Did you hear that strange noise?
Oh, I didn't hear anything.
Why are you leaving the Dalish for Kirkwall?
I have to. Let's leave it at that for now, all right?
I get the feeling you're in trouble.
It's not like that. Not exactly, anyway. The Keeper and I have disagreements, but it will sort itself out in time.
We didn't get a proper introduction.
I am... Or was, I suppose. The first to keep a Marathari. I've studied the old ways for as long as I can remember. I know things. The law of the Dalish that can help us get to the summit of Sundermort.
My name is Hawk. Glad to make your acquaintance, Meryl.
Thank you. I'm afraid I'm not very experienced with your kind. The Keeper said you came from Ferelden. I spent most of my life there. We only came north a few years ago. Have you been in the Free Marches long? Do you like it here?
I miss the cold and the dirt. Kirkwall's not brown enough for me. But hey, no darkspawn.
Ferelden wasn't that brown. The dirt and muck gave it character. We should go. Your task is for Asher Bellinar. It's not wise to make her wait.
What do we have to do with the amulet?
It's a funeral of sorts. I'll perform it when we get to the mountaintop. Getting there is the tricky part. Our hunters haven't been able to reach the summit. Dark things are about.
I take it you've been expecting me to bring this amulet for some time.
The Keeper brought us here to wait for you. I don't know much more than that. I do know that you have Asher Bellinar's amulet. And we must bring it to the altar on the mountaintop. Nothing more.
Do you know the witch who sent me here?
No, not personally. My people tell stories of her, though. You're very lucky. Most people who meet Asher Bellinar wind up in little pieces, hanging from the trees.
Let's get this over with.
The stories tell us that all Elven once had the gift, but like so many things, it was lost. It's a keeper's job to remember, to restore what we can. As each generation passes, magic becomes more rare among the Dalish. As the gift dies out, talented children are moved between clans so that every keeper has a successor, and no clan is in danger of being left without guidance. Meryl was born to the Alurion clan, which wandered the hills of Navarra. She was the third child of the clan with the ancient gift born to her. When the next Arlethven gathering of the clans occurred, she was given to the Sabre clan to be first to keep her Marathari. Meryl was just 4 years old. She spent most of her life in Ferelden in the Kakari wilds until her clan was driven north by the Blight. Carver, are you in my way?
The Keeper didn't mention you were a mage.
I imagine it's difficult to give away something nobody wants.
All keepers know a bit of old magic. The stories tell us that all Elven once had the gift. But like so many things, it was lost. It's a keeper's job to remember, to restore what we can.
Can't demons possess Dalish mages?
It can happen. And when it does, the clan must hunt and kill their own keeper.
Does the Chantry know about the Dalish mages?
Oh, they know. Keeper Marathari told me that was one of the reasons we never camped too long in one place. They usually won't pursue us if we stay away from the cities and towns and keep moving. But my clan is now in more danger, having lost our Hala.
If you go to Kirkwall, you'll be an apostate in a city full of Templars.
I know. But if I don't go to Kirkwall, I'll be alone. A solitary elf is easy prey for anyone. In the city, I can get lost in the crowd.
I'm glad you decided to pitch in back there.
Oh, Oh, you're welcome. I wasn't sure I'd be much good. I've done a little fighting before, but it was always alone. I'll try not to hit anyone. On our side, I mean. I'm babbling again. Let's go.
Oh, Meryl. There you are. You guys. Bomb.
I've got what you need right here.
Speaking of which, level up. Explosive Strike now guarantees a critical hit and inflicts significantly more damage against enemies who have been knocked off balance by a warrior.
So the Keeper finally found someone to take you from here.
Yes.
Then finish your task quickly, human. We cannot be rid of this one too soon.
The Dalish are one big happy family.
I have made my choice. And I will save our clan whatever you think.
What's going on here, Meryl?
Nothing. Just ignorance. We should go.
Do you want to talk about it? Might be important to know. Just in case.
I'm sorry. You're not really seeing the Dalish at their best. We're good people that look out for each other. Just not today, apparently.
Is there anything I can do to help?
It's kind of you to ask. I'm fine. Even if my people don't appreciate my efforts, I must see this through. Let's go. Ashabelanar isn't known for her patience.
Continue. Sure. We'll continue for a bit. That spider literally just fall like clunk.
Another friend.
Where you guys going? Gloves of the Spiral Eye. More willpower. The lustrous white-blue silverite has long been prized by the dwarves for use in jewelry, rune-making, and weaponsmithing, but on the surface, it is more commonly used by apothecaries and healers. Since the metal does not rust, many traditions believe it to be proof against poison. There is a tale passed down among the people of the Anderfels. A knight returned home after many years of war, only to be struck by an adder. His wife immediately bound the wound with a medallion of silverite pressed against the bite, like a poultice. By morning, the poison had left him, and the knight lived to an old age. An excerpt from an alchemical primer of metallurgy, Volume 1, by Lord Cerastus of Manros Pel. Spiders! Hello. Kaboom. Anything up here? Some corpses.
Stop!
Oh, I'm dazed.
I can handle that.
Thank you.
It's done.
Heavy elven boots. It's worth nothing for me. Moving right along. That's where he came in from. Anything over here? An empty quiver.
I can open the way forward. One moment.
Blood magic? Foolish. Very foolish.
Yes, it was blood magic, but I know what I'm doing. The spirit helped us, didn't it?
Sure, demons are very helpful. Right up until they take your mind and turn you into a monster.
Well, yes. But that won't happen. I know how to defend myself. Be careful up ahead. Restless things prowl the heights. In the days of Arlathan, the elders came here to sleep. Uthanara. The endless dream, they called it. But they don't sleep peacefully anymore.
Cryptic. Deep mushroom. Nothing else here? What's at Cairns? Anything over this way? Brooks hasn't even gotten up yet. Ugh. Oh, hello, Revenant. I see what you mean when you said they don't sleep easily anymore. I feel like I'm supposed to eventually go up here.
You're very different from other elves.
Oh? You know them all?
No, I just... You look different. There's no denying that.
It is what I am. And the problems you claim to have, I really did have no choice.
Do we know anyone who isn't brooding every hour of the day?
Like attracts like, it seems.
Isabella? Varric? Magic. Huh. Recipe. Kirkwall is guarded by mountains to its north, the tallest of which is Sundamount. The mountain has a fearsome reputation. Legend says it was the site of the final battle between the Tevinter Imperium of old and the ancient empire of elves that perished with Arlathan. Both sides unleash the horrors into the waking world, and feyed creatures prowl the heights to this very day, unaware that the war for which they were summoned is long since over. There's a tale in the Free Marches that Blessed Andraste, upon reaching Kirkwall with her armies, sojourned up the slopes of Sundamount alone. She stayed there 3 days. When she returned, she wept as if her heart was broken. I stayed 2 months in Kirkwall, and despite my best efforts, I never found a guide willing to take me up the mountain. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, the Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Interesting. Okay, let's go back down and actually do our quest. Then I'll probably call it. Oh, you first. Where'd you go? Up. Kaboom. Just go down.
I think it's safe now. Place the amulet on the altar, and I'll begin the rite.
Okay, one sec.
Aharin amalana salen. Emma ira au bella zaviranan. Isalahamin vinanhim dofilas. In usanera narivas.
Here we are. A witch.
Friend of yours?
You speak the word as if it is cheap coin, meant for spending.
You don't know me.
Huh. I know your type.
Andarana Tishan Ashabalana.
One of the people. I see. So young and bright. Do you know who I am, beyond that title?
I know only a little.
Then stand. The people bend their knee too quickly. So refreshing to see someone who keeps their end of a bargain. I half expected my amulet to end up in a merchant's pocket.
I agreed to deliver the amulet, though you could have told me you were inside it.
Just a piece. A small piece, but it was all I needed. A bit of security, should the inevitable occur. And if I know my Morrigan, it already has.
Huh. So this is how you survived.
You were no simple witch.
Figured that out yourself, did you?
I have seen powerful mages, spirits, and abominations, but you are none of those things. What are you?
Such a curious land. The chains are broken, but are you truly free?
You see a great deal.
I am a fly in the ointment. I am a whisper in the shadows. I am also an old, old woman.
More than that, you need not know.
Is that someone I should know?
She's a girl who thinks she knows what is what better than I or anyone. And why not? I raised her to be as she is. I cannot expect her to be less.
I'm not sure whether she's your daughter or your enemy.
Neither is she.
Why did you need me to bring you here?
Because I had an appointment to keep. And because I did not want to be followed, you smuggled me here quite nicely.
I don't understand. Are you some kind of vision?
Must I be in only one place? Bodies are such limiting things. I am but a fragment cast adrift from the whole, a bit of flotsam to cling to in the storm.
A fragment?
You do not need to understand, child. Know only that you may have saved my life, just as I once saved yours. An even trade, I think.
You have plans, I take it?
Destiny awaits us both, dear boy. We have much to do. Before I go, a word of advice. We stand upon the precipice of change. The world fears the inevitable plummet into the abyss. Watch for that moment, and when it comes, do not hesitate to leap. It is only when you fall that you learn whether you can fly.
What should I do?
Do as I do. Become a dragon. You could never be a dragon. As for you, child, step carefully. No path is darker than when your eyes are shut.
Maceranus Ashabelinar.
Now the time has come for me to leave. You have my thanks and my sympathy.
Well, Flemeth is back. Who wants to go tell Morgan?
Maceranus' child, your debt is paid in full. It isn't too late to change your mind, Dalen.
Dareth Shiral, Keeper. I'm ready. Let's depart. Elganon. Is this really where the elves live?
Yes, this is it.
You'll get used to it. The elves say it grows on you. Like a tumor.
I didn't think it would be so... I've never seen so many people in one place before. It seems so lonely.
You already know me. You'll make other friends soon enough.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you for everything. For all your help. Will you come visit me? Not now, of course. But maybe later. I could use a friend.
I'd like that, Meryl.
Thank you. Oh, I'm thanking you too much, aren't I? I mean it, though.
Yay, Meryl is part of our group now. Let's level her up. Come on, Fenris. Wrath of the Elven. Meryl has never quite felt like she's fit in, and her choice has only furthered the gap between her and her people. Meryl turns the land against her foes, inflicting damage against nearby enemies as long as she sustains this spell. Enemies around Meryl are drawn toward her by tendrils of raw nature magic, which inflict heavy damage in the process. Armor.
Shem, who oversees the docks, says he doesn't want any more knife fingers than necessary.
Bloody Shems. We work as well as anyone else.
There we go.
Please.
I still don't know what the big tree is for. It's sort of pretty, I suppose.
It's the only place.
Madam, I am sorry for your loss, mistress. But I can offer your son mercy only if he turns himself in.
I'm trying to find him, but...
The Templars cannot tolerate apostates.
It sounds like your son is in trouble. Is there anything I can do?
You heard all of that and still you would help? An apostate? Oh, thank you. I am Ariane. My boy, Fainriel. He's all I have. All my family. When I learned he had magic, I could not bear to send him to the Circle. But his connection to the Fade, it gives him nightmares. Dreams of demons speaking in his mind. I would rather lose him to the Circle than to himself.
What kind of dreams is he having?
He dreams of demons, calling to him, pulling him into their world. Every day, it grows harder to wake him. That is why I turn to the Circle. They are the only ones that can protect a mage from his own powers.
Abominations are always so awkward at family reunions.
No, please, you must find him before the demons finish their work. He must be brought to safety. If you won't do it for Fainriel, do it for Kirkwall. The Templars say a lad like my son is a danger to the whole city if left untrained.
I'll bring your son back to safety, I promise.
I don't know where Fainrail is gone, but there are 2 places you might start your search. Sir Thrask has been looking for him. If you speak to him in the gallows, he'll be able to tell you what ground he's already covered. And Fainrail's father, Vincento, recently returned from Antiva. He's a merchant in the Lowtown Bazaar. Fainrail might have sought him out.
Tell me about this Templar.
I believe he's a good man. He doesn't hate mages, but sees what it took me too long to realize. Even the best-intentioned mages are at the mercy of their sleeping minds. There are other Templars who are much less sympathetic.
You and Fainrail's father are not married?
Vincento had no desire for a wife or an elf-blooded child. I haven't seen him since the day I told him.
Some people just aren't built for family life. At least Fainrail has a mother who cares about him.
I have written, though, to keep him informed about his child. Fainrail wanted to meet him.
I will not leave you fearful for a moment longer than necessary.
He ought to have his own life. Out from the shackles of the Circle. Everyone should.
Don't coddle this boy. If he is a mage, he's dangerous and belongs in the Circle.
Thank you. It has been a lonely time hiding. It's almost a relief to finally confront this openly.
Your wife is over her sickness.
Wounded Coast of Sundamount. Speak to Thrask in the Gallows or Vincento in the Lowtown Market. Speak to Meryl at her home in Lowtown.
I pray she'll get better soon. I've missed too much work already.
Let's go talk to Meryl. What do you mean quest completed? The Maker's first creations were the spirits, glorious beings that populated the many spires of the Golden City, and the Chant of Light says that they revered the Maker with unquestioning devotion. The Maker, however, was dissatisfied. Although the spirits were like him in that they could manipulate the ether and create from it, they did not do so. They had no urge to create, and even when instructed to do so, possessed no imagination to give their creations ingenuity or life. The Maker realized his own folly. He had created the spirits to resemble him in all but the one and most important way. They did not have a spark of the divine within them. He expelled all the spirits out of the Golden City and into the Fade, and proceeded to his next creation, life. The Maker created the world and the living beings upon it, separated from the Fade by the veil. His new children would be unable to shape the world around them, and thus would need to struggle to survive. In return for their struggle, the Maker gave them the spark of the divine, a soul, and he watched with pleasure as his creations flourished and showed all the ingenuity that he had hoped for. The spirits grew jealous of the living and coaxed them into the Fade when they slept. The spirits wished to know more of life, hoping to find a way to regain the Maker's favor. Through the eyes of the living, they experienced new concepts: love, fear, pain, and hope. The spirits reshaped the Fade to resemble the lives and concepts that they saw, each spirit desperately trying to bring the most dreamers to their own realm so they could vicariously possess a spark of the divine through them. As the spirits grew in power, however, some of them became contemptuous of the living. They were the spirits that saw the darkest parts of the dreamers. Their lands were a place of torment and horror, and they knew that the living were strongly drawn to places that mirrored those dark parts of themselves. These spirits questioned the Maker's wisdom and proclaimed the living inferior. They learned from the darkness they saw and became the first demons. Rage, hunger, sloth, desire, pride. These are the dark parts of the soul that give demons their power, the hooks they use to claw their way into the world of the living. It was demons that whispered into the minds of men, convincing them to turn from the Maker and worship false gods. They seek to possess all life as their due, forging kingdoms of nightmare and the fade, in the hopes of one day storming the walls of heaven itself. And the Maker despaired once again, for he had given the power of creation to his new children, and in return, they had created sin. For the Maker's First Children by Badr, Senior Enchanter of Ostwick, 812 Blessed.
I didn't think you'd come. I'll find something relatively clean for you to sit on. Can I get you something to eat or drink? I have water.
I came here to see you, Merrill. You don't have to fuss over me.
You're so kind. My first guest, and I'm already a terrible host. I wanted to thank you for bringing me here, but I'm making a mess of it.
You're so sweet, Merrill.
I'm not really. If good wishes were enough, everyone in Thedas would be happy. I haven't exactly had many friends. Not even among my own clan. This is... tricky.
What made you unpopular with the Dalish?
Being first to the Keeper, I was always a bit secluded. I studied magic and history while the others were learning the Via Tanadal. It's good that I left. I'd have made a terrible Keeper. I was never that good with people.
You seem to be getting the hang of it already.
I'm glad you think so. Thank you for coming to visit me, Hawk. It means a lot to me.
No problem. Now then, let's call it a video. Save the game. Next time, we'll continue on with some of our... I'll get that next time. We'll continue on with some of our other side quests. Till then, if you liked this video, let me know in the comments. If you really liked it, press that cute little like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Luke Dog, and I'll see you next time.